Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And today, I thought there would be more people, sorry.
Yeah, we're so used to Tip or Matt chiming in there.
Yeah, maybe they can hop on later. But yeah, today we're talking about Last of Us Episode 2, and I guess Robbie and Major are going to talk about the new Bad Batch, I think Episode 5. I haven't seen it
You're
yet.
going to be entombed in a great recap of Bad Batch Episode 5.
I actually took
feel like
notes
you were
of
there.
Bad Batch this time.
Oh, me too.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah,
I skipped
look at
one. I
us.
skipped one Bad Batch episode, and y'all are just like become
We
like
just go so
Bad
try
Batch
hard.
scholars. Yeah.
We're some
Anyway.
bad bitches about Star Wars.
So,
Uh,
but yeah, and then
but first,
but Major,
I kinda
Major
Yeah,
has
I
some
wanted to
news
talk
for
to
us.
you guys about Justin Roiland for a second, right?
Mhm.
Fucking fired, right? So, not to get too deep into the weeds here, he got 2 felony charges in 2020, right? Got out on bail, but it's now just kind of coming back to the surface here in 2022. He got fired from Solar Opposites, Koala Man, Rick and Morty. And Robbie, you had a great question, right? That you posted on our group chat. What do we do about the voices? When,
Yeah, he's the
when
voice of-
he's half the cast.
He's Rick
Well,
and Morty.
I think I said this
Plus
before on
random
the same
side.
chat, but
Ooh-wee.
Justin Roiland is no Seth MacFarlane. He's no Dan Castellaneta. He's no Billy West. He's no D.
Oh no,
Bradley Baker.
he's got one voice, right? Like you
Yeah.
watch him on Invincible, and you're like, wait, is that
He's-
Justin Roiland? Like
Yeah,
you
he's-
instantly know he's only got the one voice.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not
you
like
should-
those other guys who've like
You should
made
play high
careers
on
out of
life.
it. I mean, it is his career, but he has no like not like formal training. But I would not say he's like in the top tier of voice actors
I mean,
in terms
like,
of talent.
remember-
In terms of talent.
Have you seen like the behind the scenes? Like part of his job as Rick was getting hammered in the recording booth. So like I don't know how much talent you can protrude like 10 beers in.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
what's
I
gonna
don't know.
happen, Morty.
Well, I'm wondering, are they going to hire one person for both voices, or hire 2 actors for both
I mean,
voices?
dude, you just have to find one guy on YouTube who does a perfect Justin Roiland impression, and then you can hire him for like $30,000 a year. And
Well,
it's done. Like it's a non-issue.
That's how they hired the new Cleveland actor on Family Guy, because the guy who
No.
plays Cleveland
Really?
was a white guy, so obviously
Like the
I-
the internet got mad about that. So they hired
Actually,
a guy does impressions of Cleveland and like other characters, and they hired him. Although I think
That's great.
D. Bradley Baker has like a website where he like goes over like voice acting and like gives advice for aspiring voice actors. He says like, doing an impression and actually acting are not the same thing. Because and a lot of times if you're doing a voice, you usually have to riff or sometimes do improv or be able to work with other actors. And if you're just doing an impression, you can't really do that. So it does take some skill. It's not like doing an imitation by itself.
Yeah,
it
a
might
lot
not
of them
be
will be already
because
done live,
if people do imitations, usually just
and they know how to say it.
reciting lines from past episodes. But I don't know, it just depends on the actor, and I'm sure they're going to I'm sure they have a very, 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 very strict auditioning process. So
I do. Since we're talking about, I want to give out a shout out to my man Shane Gillis, who does the absolute best Trump impression. Like, bro, like, dude, if you heard Shane Gillis do a Trump impression, you would think Trump was fucking talking. Like, it's kind of like that's not even like deep fake technology. That's just a really good impression, right? But if I'm like, driving down the road and I've got YouTube Auto on, and Shane comes on as Donald Trump, and he's like, they're gonna build a wall. Dude, it's perfect. Dude.
He was
Like,
on
Joe
Rogan.
Go check him out.
there's
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, he's so good. If you haven't checked out, Shane Gillis has a 45-minute comedy special that will make you piss your pants, dude. He's so funny. He's absolutely hilarious.
if you ever
I
watch
highly
Game-
recommend it. It's on
if you ever-
YouTube too.
If you ever watch YouTube, there's a channel called Game Society Pimps, and they have this guy doing impressions like as celebrities who's playing video games. So they had like Donald Trump playing.
Oh, that's fun. I
What's
like
that Viking? What's that
I've wa-
Viking game?
I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
That's a
Yeah.
good concept.
I think I probably sent it to you. It was like,
Yeah, and he's just like changing characters while we.
I have
Well,
the biggest ship.
yeah, I'm gonna have the biggest ship. And
It's
he's
all
like-
out of
he's-
gold.
He's
What's
outside,
great
like,
about
the
it is you
fortress,
hear
like-
other people's reaction in the game on their mics.
He's like, Ragnar. But yeah, he's great. I can't do Trump that well, but he does one called
I used
Christopher
to.
Walken.
I used to do. a great Trump, but you know,
You're doing
it's
now,
2023. No, I can't not now. Oh, like now my Trump is, I'm sure, is terrible. But like, oh, dude, 2016 through 2020, my Trump impression was the best. None better. You can find anything better than my Trump impression. But like, I'm out of practice now.
Yeah, the Christopher Walken throughs are the ones he mainly does. The Christopher Walken ones, and he's like playing like Arkham City. He's like, I gotta go see Mr. Freeze. I hope he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he could be a real bitch.
That's so funny.
I think you could do that. I would watch you play.
I can just like I said, I can just like recite the lines he's already done. I can't like improv and rip with Christopher Walken. Yeah. So
hey, speaking of things you've already done, what a segue. Netflix is rebooting the Mighty Morphin
Butcher
Power
Brothers?
Rangers.
Wait, were you doing the Cowboy Bebop?
No, that was
intro?
the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers intro.
No, mine
before-
was like, oh, it's like the
Well,
guitar solo.
Anyway, we're gonna have to cut all this. I'm pretty sure we just lost
It sounded like
listeners.
the beginning of what's the opening theme song? Cowboy Bebop, Slam, or
I don't know, but also rebooted by Netflix. I don't know if you
yes,
call that
not
reboot,
rebooted.
but
It was
it's
adaptation.
adaptation. But this is a 30th anniversary. One movie, they're bringing it all back. You got Billy, you got Crystal, you got some other people's names I don't remember.
I think the Green Ranger's not coming back, obviously.
Not Tommy.
because Jason Frank is gone. And I think the Pink Ranger said she wasn't going to be in it either. So, and the Yellow Ranger, died. Well, the Yellow Ranger died like in the 90s. I don't know if it was suicide, but it was like a real tragic death. She like died right after that show. And the Red Ranger is on trial for like a money wiring fraud.
Amy J.
for, like,
Johnson
some sort of
will not be returning as the Pink Ranger.
So I think it's just Billy and Zach.
Well, yeah.
So, but I don't know. I think they could probably bring back because they recast the Red Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and Black Ranger on the first season. So obviously, because they made the Black Ranger Asian and they made the Yellow Ranger black. Mainly because like the Red Ranger, the original Red, Yellow, and Black Rangers walked off because they were making less money than McDonald's employees. I think they said, or about they were really, really underpaid. But it was also funny. Bryan Cranston, the Breaking Bad guy. Yeah. He voiced some of the monsters or something on the show, and they named Billy
Zorro.
Cranston. You mean Zordon?
He was Zordon. Yeah, Zorro.
In the movie?
In the movie. That was a nice touch.
But in the show, was he Zordon?
No, in the show, he was a bunch of different monsters.
But they named the Blue Ranger Billy Cranston after him. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's like three of those actors, obviously are, dead, or one's not coming back and one's like facing prison time.
Guys, let me ask you this.
Damn.
So Power Rangers, guys, for our younger listeners, right? Power Rangers started off really like ground level, right? Like street level. And then kind of got a little wacky, literally ending up in space.
I remember they
at some
threw so many puns in there.
Oh, dude,
on the
so
movies.
Good. But my question is,
the first movie I remember.
What is the latest Power Rangers you remember actively watching?
I think Ninja Storm.
It's been a long time for me.
And that was like when they changed up the formula, and it was only 3 Rangers to start with. And I think there was like Ninja Storm. I think it had Ashley Simpson in it. She was like one of the villains. She was one of the villains' henchwomen.
This sounds familiar.
That was actually because I stopped watching Power Rangers after Lost Galaxy because it got really bad, even though I was a kid, but I understood how bad it was. I remember
I was just about to bring that up
because I skipped Lightspeed Rescue, I skipped Wild Force, but I watched Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm was actually much better than the earlier seasons. But
maybe that's why I slowly.
I don't. Yeah. I just want to give a big shout out to fuck you, Forrest. Lost Galaxy, dude. All right. First off, do you guys remember Power Rangers Turbo? Dude, I think I might watch that after we get.
That was a great movie. Yeah, because
that was so good.
I was pretty faithful to Power Rangers up through Lost Galaxy because they had all the
Power
toys.
Rangers in Space was good. Then they went to Lost
Galaxy.
That
was before. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lightspeed Rescue, the Time Force. I don't.
Oh yeah, that's the other one. I think I skipped. That's one was really bad. But
yeah. I definitely said goodbye at Dino Thunder for sure. I remember
that's
on
oh, there's
a dinosaur. All right, I think I'm too old for this now.
Well, that's when they brought Tommy back, but it was like, it's still not enough. I'm gonna go watch South Park.
Wait,
So-
guys.
Yeah.
Season 18 is Power Rangers Samurai, or at least the 18th iteration. No, season 18 is Power Rangers Samurai. That sounds. Oh, never mind. Fuck that. Season 19 is Super Samurai.
Well, you know what season 20 is going to be because it's already airing in Japan as Super Senpai. So you can already know what the next season of Power Rangers in America is going to be if you just go to Japan and see what Super Senpai is, because they just like use the footage from the Japanese show and just like film white actors with the helmets off.
Guys, season 28-29 is Power Rangers Dino Fury, and season 30 is Cosmic Fury.
Oh yeah, I was just
Cosmic
pulling up
Furry.
the wiki myself.
Yeah, so I just like to think like them like falling in love with like
scrolling through this list
becoming
of
furries.
seasons.
Yeah. Oh well, Major. Just to go back to the Justin Roiland thing real quick.
Yeah.
Now that do you think this is gonna be the death nail in Rick and Morty, or do you think like they're gonna find new actors and?
Oh, they're gonna find new actors. They signed a 10-season contract. If anything, Justin Roiland probably knew this was gonna happen.
But if he's being fired, then they can
so much
probably
money on
rewrite the contract, right?
No, there's Dan Harmon. You dumbass. There's still.
But they're gonna have to rewrite it
Dan.
specific. They're gonna have to rewrite it specific for Dan because they probably signed it together. I'm guessing because they probably make a new contract just for Dan.
I have no idea. If so, then Justin Roiland be the biggest douchebag in the world for dragging Dan Harmon down and his bullshit. Like you don't get out on bail for a couple serious felony charges and then co-sign a 10-year contract with somebody. That's a dick move. So I like to believe that's not the case, but I guess we'll just have to wait for more details.
I'm wondering
Legal Eagle to come out with something.
I'm wondering if the Venture Brothers or Metalocalypse guys like Brennan Small.
They're not coming back.
I'm wondering if they're going to release a tweet saying like, I didn't beat any women. How come I lost my show?
Well, one thing I feel like we'll all be wondering if we'll know
Major,
more about
they are
more
coming
about
back.
the Plumbus.
Well, they are coming back.
Plumbus.
I know how to make one. I just don't know what it's for.
Yeah, we all don't really know.
Is that season 6 stuff?
Right? It came up a couple
cable.
Times. Yeah, that's when it started, and then it popped up again eventually.
Yeah, I haven't seen season 6 of Rick and Morty yet, so that shows you how much I care about this. I mean, obviously, like him, if he hit this woman, then he needs to go to jail. That's serious. But I mean, I'm
a fan. That's why I use the number C137 in some of my names.
So, Major, I think Venture Brothers and Metalocalypse are coming back on HBO Max. Just not.
Are they?
Just not TV shows.
Oh,
they're gonna let them. They're gonna let them wrap up the story with just a movie, but it's they probably should just give them like a season each. Like they could just give them like 8 episodes, or I don't think it would have like bankrupted.
Give them a
Discover.
Game of Thrones season 8.
Just like 5 episodes.
Finish it off.
But we'll see how it goes. I'm sure like 2 hours they can get a lot wrapped up. But
so this is actually a great segue that I don't want to do yet, but I'm gonna use the segue, but I don't want to segue yet into The Last of Us. But the Metalocalypse, right? You open up that series on what is it? Jingle Hills Coffee.
Yep.
Right? And coffee. Right? And like you watch it, and there's a ripping guitar solo, and like they're pouring liquid hot coffee on people, and their skin melting off their bones, and then there's cream coming everywhere, right?
Try to cool it down.
Madness, and there's a helicopter, and some blood, it's fucking chaos, right? Like, what an introduction! I haven't seen an introduction that good since.
Now you want Metalocalypse to come back now, don't you?
Oh, I always want Metalocalypse to come back. As long as there were subtitles.
What was one of those
making
first
a show that's so inaudible, but I love it.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it too.
One of the first viewers the fans in the first episode. It's like one of them cut my finger off and threw it up on stage, and then he wrapped it up and smoked it.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's just hardcore metal fans. I remember being a hardcore metal fan. Who's I'm not a fan of anymore. That was a terrible transition. I mean, I'm not a fan, but it's not for this reason. I don't think anyone's a fan anymore. Do you guys keep up with the Oscars? I mean, besides the slap, there is nothing going on.
That was the only thing that got me the Oscars in years.
Yeah. Hey,
just kind of check on the highlights later.
I think last time I checked, if I remember correctly, the Las Vegas odds on a slap this year are 12-1. So if if you guys have a betting addiction, head online to
Will Smith
the
won't be
95th
there.
Academy Awards.
People were betting on that.
Yeah, you know
Like,
who else I
that's
got a
better.
slap? Will Smith on the wrist after that.
Yeah,
I think
right?
he's only been banned for 10 years. That's I mean, I'm sure he'll still be around in 10 years.
Yeah, but
it's just
so
sort of.
yeah, that ban's nothing.
Mhm.
That's what I originally thought. But then someone pointed out, it's like, dude, imagine winning an Oscar and then not being able to fucking get it. And it's like, oh yeah, that.
And they just yank it away as he comes up on stage. Nope.
No, you know what'd be really funny is if they had Chris Rock present the award and he slapped Will Smith when he goes to grab
Yeah.
it. That would be so.
Now we're even.
Yeah, right. He's like, "Oh, Will Smith, you want your
Well,
award?
Chris-
Come get it. Come get it." He's like, "Ah, these guys pimp
Wow.
him, winding up."
Yeah.
He's like, "Come on, get your award, Will Smith."
I think
Oh,
last
that's
time-
funny.
He's almost
Last-
slapped the hair off of you.
Last time I watched the Oscars was only because I think it was 2010 because they said they were premiering the second Iron Man 2 trailer after it. So I was forced to watch it just so I could watch it because it was
Yeah, it's dumb. It's fucking stupid. We
Yeah.
have more listeners. We have more viewers on our podcast than fucking Oscars do.
Yeah.
And
I'm Tip,
women.
the Last of Us.
Hey!
oh nice.
Hey!
We haven't gotten to The Last of Us yet, Tip. So you got here in a good
No,
time.
but we've gotten to the last of the news. So thanks for sticking with us, guys. I just wanted to real fast.
Well,
give
you
a
didn't
shout
even bring up with the Oscar fiasco.
Well, yeah.
That
Well,
no
I was
female
going to give a
director.
shout out to the director of She-Hulk. With this incredibly empowering move for feminism over the last year, the Academy Awards has responded with 0 women in the Best Director category.
Yeah,
So,
it's aren't some
there's
some
your
Best
progress
Picture,
for you guys.
aren't some Best Picture or movies being nominated that were directed by women? I don't think that's the case. I think some. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's one of those things. If does this mean there's always going to be a female nominated every year, even if there were any
No.
good movies?
By definition, no, right? Because I would say, to quote Elon Musk, in the world of the woke mind virus, I'd say it's kind of like a big pushback that there wasn't any not even just a representative female nominee, right?
Mhm.
Hey, guys.
Just a diversity hire.
Hey, guys.
But the Academy Awards were just nah, no female directors even came close.
Hey guys, do you know why equality can never work? It's because people aren't born equal.
Well, no,
We all have different abilities and capacities
Oh, yeah.
and different minds and different
Yeah.
physical, mental, and spiritual capacities. I mean,
that's right.
the-
Some of us
the-
are super
the Greek
smart,
philosophers-
some of us shoot arrows, some of us shoot
yeah,
lightning,
dude,
some of us shoot
this is
That's how the Greek philosophers
lasers.
justified slavery, right?
no. Well, no, they didn't actually. Many were post. But I will say this:
Speaking of Greek philosophers.
those who call themselves liberal have lost the concept of what being a liberal means, which means somebody who is constantly learning and evolving and growing as a person. What is happening is these people get stuck on these ideas that and then they want to radically change things. I mean, you have to change yourself before you change anyone else, right? So you have to
you want to be absolutely.
So, I mean, if you want to win, if you want a woman as best director, well then, somebody must achieve being a best director. You can't just give it to them based on gender. It has to be based on merit, dude.
Yeah.
And the further we go away from a meritocracy,
Yeah, get
the
away
more likely our nation is going to suck balls.
I think Steven Spielberg's going to take one for the team in transition. I think
Just get away from participation.
And that'll put-
trophies.
she'll be Stefina Spielberg.
I'm
then-
gonna transition away from this conversation real quickly.
Let's transition over to
Excellent
Last
point,
of Us.
Tip. Guys, be the change you want to be, whether that's far left, far right, or 98% of the fucking people in the world, somewhere in between.
To a transition into a fungal zombie.
Yeah,
Like,
more
I know
importantly,
it's a crazy radical thing that
just love people. Just love your neighbor. Just be
that
nice to people,
Gandhi
just love
said,
each
but
other.
it's cool.
Anyway, so Last of Us.
Yeah.
What'd you
Oh,
think
yeah.
of this episode?
Speaking of things that people have said in the past, guys, can we get a special shout out to my YouTube watching skills because that wheat theory was right. Remember last week I was highlighting heavy spoilers.
Oh, that's right, because they it opened up in Indonesia where the virus started, which is
Right,
like,
it was like a really big.
pretty
It's like a
pretty
huge
ballsy
flower plant.
pretty ballsy in the post-COVID world. Since the
Dude, what do you do? Like, what do you
Yeah.
like? You're 10 years. Like, how long has this been in production? Like 2013 is when the script started getting shopped around or something.
I
Right,
don't
so,
know
like-
about that. I just know like after it got greenlit after Chernobyl. That was like 2018 or 2019. I think it was
Exactly.
2019.
So like
So-
you're a third way in, and then like the pandemic happens. Like, yeah, maybe don't do this, but also it's the best video game adaptation of all time. He says 2 episodes in, right?
Have you noticed that the graphics are definitely video game graphics? Like the backgrounds and stuff. If you look
looks-
closely,
Well,
it
they're
looks like
related.
you're in a video game.
It looks
It's,
like
it's using a similar engine. It's got to be.
Yeah, it looks very similar to the video game, like the surroundings and the settings. I haven't played the video game, but I've just seen like clips and pieces of here. But yeah, it looks like
Yeah, it does
definitely-
look very
Applaud.
similar.
I wanted to applaud the practical effects in this show.
Oh yeah,
Right,
like,
like,
that's a nice.
when I'm
nice
watching,
scene.
Right? Like I'm watching The Last of Us, right? And they're like walking through a hallway and there's like a vine there. And like there's literally like some kind of like physical vine there, right? And it's just
Yeah.
fun to like watch it and think like, oh, like if this was like Disney Plus, it would just be all CGI.
Or if it was like a CW show, like they literally have like Martian Manhunter. He looks worse than like the Toy Story
Wait,
graphics.
is it
in
not all
1996. No, it's all.
There's a
it's
lot
all
of practical
practical.
effects.
Yeah.
Oh,
The background, like they're in Boston and you see like that one giant building leaning up on the against a different giant building, like that's all CGI.
But like the actual,
it's really well done.
well, they got the guy from Chernobyl, so he's like, well, I know how to make people with radiation sickness look real. So let me make people with the fungus inside them look real.
What do you guys think about the prologue?
It was good. I mean, I don't think it was as good as the talk show one.
But pretty good, right? I like it overall, like way better than the Back to Tanks. Like I like this at the beginning. It's not randomly inserted, right? But like every week, like so far at least, only 2 episodes in, we're getting little hints about like how this started, like some background information. Like I really like
Yeah,
the
they're
format.
slowly revealing more about
Yeah,
it.
it's fire, dude. It's so I'm thoroughly
Oh,
enjoying
yeah, because
this
I
format.
already know like another
Yeah,
step
the show's
after
pretty
the
dope.
clickers. I even like talked about the clickers in the last episode before this one came out.
Yeah, I think it was interesting.
We'll get to that.
They get this professor of mycology, which is the study of microorganisms,
Fungus,
and
yeah.
and she's like the #1 expert in Indonesia. And I thought it was weird that she goes in by herself with like no protection or no backup. He's just kind of like
Yeah,
behind the
they're
window,
like, I'm not gonna go in there.
He's kind of like behind the window. He's like, you got it.
Yeah, I'm just talking to her.
Zip, are you on a run or
You out?
something?
oh, I was running. Maybe I should
There's
just walk.
There's a mute button you can press
Yeah,
on
just
on the app.
Yeah,
You just
so we
press the
don't
mute
have-
button, and then when you have a wonderful thought, you can just unmute yourself. Look at it; it's beautiful.
There
Wow,
we
just
go.
like the-
Wait,
just like
There's
the
a mute
right-
button? Oh, I don't have
Yeah.
that app. That's why.
Well, so the Indonesian, he's like, okay, you got it, and he cuts her open and.
Dude, how
Some
gross! How
Yeah.
gross!
Wait,
no
that was-
blood, no
that-
muscle. It's just
that-
more of those.
Oh, dude, like
Fungus
this,
wait,
it was
that
it
wasn't
was white pus, like
cordyceps they're
acne.
called?
That wasn't marshmallow cream? Oh.
Stop for it.
Anyway,
So gross, dude.
it was like, you can't do
I
this in
love it,
CW.
dude. It looks so good. Like, dude, I'm thoroughly impressed with this television.
I've heard rumors that, because they did the tendrils because they didn't want to do the spores, right?
right.
but I heard they're gonna bring
because
the
gas
sport-
masks.
I heard they're going to bring the spores back in season 2.
I mean,
I've heard that rumble.
maybe they
Just
saw the
because-
Mandalorian and they were like, "Oh, maybe we can't do this with helmets on."
Well, I mean, I don't think they would need them on for that long, but I think
Oh,
just
Or
like
maybe
spores,
that's when like the next thing comes in.
Oh yeah, the next iteration, the next
the
wave.
evolved fungus is evolved.
So, guys, their solution, right? There was 14 infected people out on the loose, right? And that
Mhm.
woman started shaking that tea like she was losing her damn mind. And it's like, what do we do? And she's like, bomb. And it's like my initial
Even
reaction was,
if the
oh,
language is just bomb.
yeah. I was like, oh, that's great. Like America's so pro bomb. Like everyone else just fucking like adapted like our word for giant explosion, right? Like bomb. And then number two, I was like, hey, you know what? Compared to bombs, masks don't seem so fucking bad.
Yeah. Or
Right?
I think he's like, so what do we do? Bomb or antifungal cream?
And then like some like lobbyist pops up. He's like, what about an M95?
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I think it was a little like, well, I think I read today, like because fungus have eukaryotic cells, just like humans do. So that's why they're harder to treat. And I think they said like the real life science behind the cordyceps fungus is that it's very, very species specific. So like right now, it like infects insects, dragonflies,
it's
ants,
like
whatever.
ants.
Well,
But it's
a good thing we're not
can't-
doing a gain of research.
Yeah,
right,
it
Robbie?
can't. Yeah, it can't just switch from one species to the next. But I think
Yeah.
they said like one scientist said that the climate change and fungus evolving is real, but it probably there's already like some lethal
Wait,
fungal infections
Wait,
out
are
there
you
already.
talking about? Are you referring to real life or the television show?
Real life.
Okay, all right, because that's
'Cause he was like,
literally word
that's-
for word what he said in the television show in episode 1.
Well, yeah. He's like, the climate change
Yeah, it's a
adapting
real
and
thing.
like fungus adapting to that. I mean, maybe not like the cordyceps where it takes over people and then become zombies, but like it can be like fungal infections more lethal. Like aren't yeast infections fungal infections?
Sorry, every time someone brings up yeast infection, all I can think about is that scene from The Office.
Yeah, he's like, we
when
live
they're
downstairs from a
asked-
bread factory. He's
Yeah.
like, there are a surprising number of yeast infections in this county, probably because we live downriver from a bread factory. So
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
it
don't
is
know.
it is a fungal infection.
okay, so yeah, it's like he says like stuff like that could become more lethal, especially in people who are immunocompromised. If like climate change, I mean, it's just gonna get worse. I don't think this could get any better, but
It's
that's
3
probably.
degrees warmer. Now my vagina is lethal.
I don't know
I
about
want that
that.
to be my
It
Tinder
probably
profile.
already was. It probably already was. Yeah, just I wish just like people would just put pictures of genitals on dating profiles just to know, just like just full transparency.
Literally, but it's they wear transparent clothes. Now
No,
I'm
don't
thinking
even
about
wear those. Just like
John.
and-
What's his name? John Bolet. John Bolet. Show
John-
me your genitals.
Oh
Your
yeah, John
genitals.
Lajoie. I used to
John
love him.
Lajoie. That's it. Show me your genitals.
I haven't watched him in years.
Dude, he's so good.
Yeah.
It's just the way he's dancing is so funny.
That's so funny. I watched it in a
Such a crude song.
whatever.
That was
For
like-
a tip, you can get with the rest of us on the back of the bus.
That
on the way
was,
across
Such a
that
crude,
was
rude,
Tips-
and socially
Don't
unacceptable
use
song.
virtual
That was
signal in
Tip's
this
ringtone.
podcast.
That was Tip's ringtone back in high school. So anyway, Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
We should probably after the Indonesian opening.
The Blast of Us.
And Joel. Tess and Joel are taking Ellie, and we find out how
You
she.
know what makes this show
got
so good for
bitten.
me?
Because you haven't seen Walking
what
Dead,
is it?
so it's like all fresh. It's all new to you.
I haven't seen The Walking Dead.
Okay, then you probably love this show. Then I mean, I'm not saying
I
this
do.
show isn't. I'm not saying this show
Now,
isn't.
I'm over zombies and apocalypse events for sure.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like solid video game adaptations, I'm not seeing Master Chief's ass in this TV series. So I'm not complaining too much.
Definitely better in Halos.
Yeah. Oh, I think like just like the zombie apocalypse, like the origin of it is unique, but I think just like the basic post-apocalyptic, like the regular zombie trends of just like being bitten and turning and one's hero sacrifice themselves, the other ones get away and they take on the
yeah.
horde.
In the
that's
game,
sort
you
of-
don't
Yeah,
have
like,
to be
no.
made out with.
Maybe we stick to the tropes here, buddy. Like I one episode ago, I'd completely agree with you, Forrest, right? But like after this episode, right, which we'll get to, I'm skipping ahead here for a second, right? But like when like the one, what do we call them? Zombie infected, fucking the fungus makes out with Tess, it goes through their mouth, dude. I was like gagging, like watching the show. Like,
It was
like
a little hard to watch.
dude, like just
I
it's like,
would probably back away. I'd probably back away there, dear.
I was
Oh
so
my
surprised she
God,
didn't move at all. She just
dude,
watched
like
it
yeah,
come
you
in.
Well,
know,
apparently-
horrified, like it's so gross.
Well, apparently, I
like
guess
maggots
like the
being
survivors
like
know, like
maggots.
they're only like the infected are only aggressive if you try to hinder them spreading the infection. So if you just stand there willingly, they're not going to attack you. They're just going to
yeah,
like.
it was.
Yeah, the way
yeah,
they just
so-
stood there, at first I thought like they detected she was
So,
infected and be like,
I guess
"Oh,
if she
friend."
tried to like back away from that one infected dude, then he would have just grabbed her and killed her immediately. And he just needed to. She needed to like get the lighter going, so she just like stood
clicked
there.
it so many times.
Yeah,
Dude,
which is-
well,
It's
if you're a day trader,
like too
and-
too many times, like I would say,
Yeah, it's to the point that like you
300%.
just don't see that finally lighting at that
as
point.
someone who used to smoke, as someone
I
who's
haven't.
been-
I have a zipper.
yeah, I have
Like,
I have
it would-
flipped. Yeah, I have flipped
If
a lighter
it's
30
doing
times to
that,
light a
you're
cigarette.
not
It's
gonna
not
light
happening.
it unless you
It's
put
not
more
happening,
fuel
yeah.
in there.
yeah, I guess. So, Tip, what were you saying? If you're a day trader,
oh, I was gonna say, yeah, if you're a day trader, stocks on
Or you
Zippo
mean-
would have been plummeted.
Oh wait.
oh,
he's not there.
Zippo's a software
Yeah.
for investing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then when she got it to finally light,
Okay. So
I'm just trying to
this
relate
is
to
for
Major here.
The last
Yeah.
of my notes.
I get what you're going for,
Tip.
Tip. It's not bad. Let's go to the
That's such
clicker
a-
scene.
Guys, so what do you feel about the design? Right, I liked it. I didn't like it. I hate it, dude. Like the clickers look too fake. It doesn't look wet
Oh.
enough to be real.
There's
Right?
two.
It looks.
Oh,
fake.
they look so good to the game though.
Yeah, like they look so good, but like at the same
mean-
time, like you're looking at it and it's like it's too dry for me. Like it feels like it should be wetter.
That's what he said to her.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the whole world, the ambient world?
No, just my wife.
Maybe
no,
they're
the clickers.
dehydrated.
He said it has to be wetter, Tip. You just that's all
And
you
that's
missed.
why he's hunting because he's.
It can't be dry. It has to be wetter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
I mean,
it looks
that's-
so dry, dude.
That's
Like
part why I don't understand this whole fungus thing, because fungus only
Okay.
grows.
In damp
in-
areas.
wait, are you
Well,
talking about
they did
our
show in
bodies
the
made out
episode
of
when the
70%
sunlight-
water?
The sunlight going across them, and they all
True.
react to the sunlight.
What if there's like a mushroom variant of the cordyceps, and like someone just has like a giant mushroom spreading out their head, like Toad
Just think- just
from
think-
Mario?
think DMT.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, it looks a little dry for my taste.
Yeah, they look great to me, but
You know,
You
so
know-
like, maybe like the orcs, are all prosthetics, right? Right.
Yeah.
Like you have a human being underneath. Like there's like orc, like they have like a fleshy feel to it. Like there's some kind of wet dampness, like to a degree, right? Whereas like this was just like some kind of like. It looked really good, but it didn't look organic. It looked like fucking fake. It didn't look real.
You know, Major, you're right. You're right. 'Cause the Urukai and all that, those guys had makeup. They had like elaborate costuming.
Yeah, this looks like
In
a
fact.
plastic piece someone glued onto someone's face.
Yeah.
well, I liked it.
Hey, well they played the part. They could not see.
Holy
Well,
shit, dude! How about that scene?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was very very intense.
Can I give a,
I like
can I
how
give a shout out?
they zoom the camera on him to give you the perspective that he doesn't know exactly where the thing is around the corner.
Right? Oh, that was such good shooting.
Just like a
yeah.
video game, dude. Just like
Yeah.
a video game.
Well, if
And
you watch,
go ahead.
if you watch the inside the episode thing afterwards, apparently the two actors they got to play the clickers actually were fans of the video game.
I
they
saw
knew
that.
exactly they knew exactly how
They
to
knew
do
how
it.
to move.
Yeah, so
How do you not get this job, even if you've never heard the video game in your life? Like, how do you not like? Oh, I have this role. Okay, let me play the fucking video game. It's a video game. Like, it's not like surfing the Sahara, right? You're not climbing
Well,
Mount Everest.
But if
right?
you
You're
don't
playing
want to
a
wait
video
for them
game.
to play the game, and you're like, oh, you already played the game and know how to move, you're hired.
Oh yeah, no,
or
definitely.
they
I'm
could
okay
have
with
like
that for
interned
sure.
on They could have interned on Walking Dead or Z Nation.
But what I was gonna get at was like versus the Halo, right? Going back to Halo, whereas the creators of Halo didn't even bother to play the game. That's
Yeah,
that's the point I was gonna get at.
And
right?
that's a big thing that pissed a lot of people off.
You have these extras on a TV show who are like, oh no, like we love the game, we played the game, even if they haven't, they loved it and played it after they got the part, right? And then Halo, they were just like, nah, fuck it, we've gone through like over 100 different scripts, we're not playing this game, fuck it, we don't care.
Just imagine like how much popular the Halo TV show would be. They just did like a straight up adaptation of the Fall of Reach.
Hey,
and,
we're just trying to make a TV show for dads on Sundays to watch with their boys, or whatever that dumbass quote was. You guys remember that?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure dads are watching football with their children on Sundays.
There's this Paramount Plus quote. I'll bring it up. You guys keep going, but like, yeah, they were talking about how Halo, like they wrote Halo to be for like Sunday football dads.
It seems like every show that came out last year involving rings sucked.
You didn't like Shang-Chi?
No, I didn't. It came out I thought it came out 2021.
Yeah, and it sucked.
I said TV shows involving rings. I said TV shows involving rings.
What other rings were there? What TV shows?
The Rings of Power?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe
Rings of Power.
catch on to that.
No, that's called traumatic. That's called traumatic blocking, right? My brain has blocks traumatic experiences for my life.
It's like, damn, why'd you
11 hours?
Okay. Well, but Robbie, you replayed the game, right? Or you at least remember it to the point to where you think
I haven't replayed it.
Oh, okay, but you do remember.
But you thought about it. You thought about it. I appreciate that.
Okay, so how? I guess they changed it up from how Test died because they in the game.
Well, I do remember like when they get to the area that they end up dumping gas and bombing. I do vaguely remember that part where because you're fighting like soldiers in there instead of
I do remember they
zombies.
changed that. I heard that.
Yeah.
Yep, I heard that.
You're kind of just you're kind of just running into zombies between areas you go to, fighting like military or random other people you run into.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Was Joel and Tess? Do you think they were fucking?
Well, I mean, they're sharing the same bed, so I would say yes. Thanks, Tip. So
for sure.
They
for sure, Major.
They were an item. So I guess
weird.
the
no kiss goodbye. Hey, let me
called...
ask you this. Hey, if you're fucking somebody, you're gonna kiss them goodbye before they kill themselves?
No, because Major, it's easier, right? Like it's definitely he did that because it would have been emotionally easier for him, and he has to maintain the attitude of detachment in order to survive.
Or he's taking no risk of
20. Think about this though. Basically, post-apocalyptic, their entire mindset is different than what ours is like. Love is important. In their society, love is like a function of survival. Yeah. You're in fight or flight all the time, and if you're in that mode, you don't have time for emotions because all of your emotional connections are fried.
You might have to kill a loved one anyway.
Right.
And it feels like 2021 if you ask me. knock.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't like how she keeps reminding Joel of his daughter.
Yeah.
Well, I think Tess and Joel, wouldn't their couple name be Toll? Toel?
or Jess.
Thank you, Forrest. That is a great insight into
the
relationship here.
Great contribution after that philosophical waxing from
Toll forever. Toel. Yeah, so she was great. It's sad to see her go. I mean, she maybe come back and I mean, the thing with these shows is like people can always come back via flashbacks, limited time, limited space. But I don't think we've seen the last
back in the future. That's for sure. Yeah,
we've had two flashbacks in the first episode, so I can imagine there could be a flashback where Joel and Tess meet each other.
Yeah, but meet each other maybe. I was thinking economically that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like now, of course, Robbie, you played the game, right? And in your Vegas memories. So, answer with caution. Where do you guys think we're going next, right? Like, so they were supposed to meet the fireflight, right? The lightsabers, what's that group called?
Fireflies.
Fireflies, there you go. I don't know why I was blanking on that word. The Fireflies. I just was thinking about Cody and Cambry the whole time.
That's a dragonfly.
I know. That's why I couldn't fucking say Firefly because it was a mixed match.
You can say
firing.
You can say I was thinking about Joss Whedon because he had a show called Firefly that got canceled.
Well, now I'm thinking about Joel McHale, and I've got a giant erection. 6 seasons in a movie, baby.
Oh boy,
he's a
Major. Did not need to know that.
What were we talking about?
The Last of Us. Toll.
Like where it might go.
Oh, Joel, Toll.
Yes.
Where's it gonna go? So, guys, they were supposed to meet it with the fireflies, and they were all dead, right? Infected, and then Tess blew up everything. So Joel has become this reluctant hero, right? Like he really didn't want to do this. He's doing this. Now he's doing it alone, right? So, like, what do we do next? Do we go to like where do we go next? Do we go to like Washington or wherever that fucking place is?
Yeah. I
What do you think's gonna happen in the next episode? That's what I'm asking. Like, I haven't seen the episode 3 trailer yet, so I want to point that out. But like, what do you want to see happen next in the TV show?
More characters from the
Would
game.
probably be lots of they're kind of exploring their way where they need to go. Just more of like what they had in the first episode, how they were trying to get through that building, and it's kind of like have to find your way around. That's basically what the video game was like, and it's kind of like it's his time to kind of get to know her a little more.
That's what I was wondering. Is
that's
it
where
like
I see it going.
High-paced suspense, like where they're trying to like go through like that museum, or is it going to be like them for 50 minutes walking through a forest like without any action, and they just like fucking like rip out dialogue and exposition of
Well, I think if you notice in this episode, like he's very, very cold to Ellie.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I think this.
He was ready to kill her. He was ready to kill her.
Yeah. Well, I think.
It's gone 20 years just basically blocking emotion out.
Yeah. After.
And now he's got Ellie reminding him of his daughter.
Yeah. Well.
Now he's got more of a reason to help her.
They also, I guess, foreshadowed her gayness by saying, like, have a boyfriend? She's like, no.
Is she
gay?
Well, that's where,
she's gay.
That's where part 2 goes.
Yeah.
Because it's more focused on Ellie in part 2. She's like.
Well, I think she has like a bi girlfriend. So.
No spoilers for what happens to Joel.
Basically, Joel becomes 2 or 3. I could see it.
Joel becomes Joella. No, I'm kidding. Just like Steven Spielberg.
Jolene, you done Joella.
Joella.
Wow. I'm not a big Dolly Parton fan. Sorry.
Jolene. I'm begging you not to take my Ellie.
Would Abby have killed Jolene, even if Joel had killed? Like that wasn't me. That was Joel. I'm Jolene. I'm Jolene now.
I'm Jolene now.
I remember one part that they might do in the next episode if
they
follow it. They end up they didn't just go through the city. They end up.
Spoiler alert. So
yeah, they end up
a minute.
Well, it's not something really important. They basically they get a vehicle, but then they get attacked in the vehicle.
Robbie, dude, I was about to say what I want to see in the next episode because I never got the answer. Major went on. I don't know. Cut me off there. Thanks, Major. But,
hey, I asked a question.
I literally. No, I was about to say just that. I was like, I want to see a vehicle because obviously there's like that's kind of cool and 20-year post-apocalyptic. I want to see some vehicle action, the struggle to get gasoline. And to get it running, and then of course the suspense of like trying to get it running while zombies are chasing them, and then
it becomes a little side quest to get.
You try to see all the tropes.
I want to see vehicle controlled by fungus.
That you basically have everything except the little mission pointers on the side of the screen or something.
Well, I'm wondering if Tommy's going to come back next episode, or maybe like we'll just do like a side. Maybe they haven't met Joel. He hasn't like not team up, but like reunited with Joel yet. But we can see what Tommy's been up to this whole time because we haven't seen him since episode 1. So
yeah, it's been so long. A whole episode.
2 episodes. Maybe we'll see his flashback in like episode 3. But yeah, so a lot to look forward to.
I love it, dude.
I enjoyed this episode a lot.
As someone who was not looking forward to covering The Last of Us, I am just emphatically in love with it so far. Pedro Pascal, perfect casting, amazing acting.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Did anyone get like I Am Legend vibes? Like all the zombies just lying down, avoiding the sun, or were they trying to get into the sun? Or I'm not really sure what they were.
I think they were just
Nope.
kind of laying there, but then reacting to the sun.
Well, yeah, I think because like when they step
Also, it
on
doesn't
the
move that quickly. They were.
when they step on like the fungal root or the fungal vine, all the zombies come running. I
Yeah,
think
what
that
were
was
they
added-
doing? Just sleeping? Just waiting? Like, that was weird.
What do like mushrooms do? They just like lay out in the sun, or they lay out in the darkness, I guess. Maybe it's like doing what fungi do in their spare time.
You know,
No,
what's really
this-
funny is if they follow the path of the sun, like some of those mushrooms do. So, like, throughout the day, they just like they're tanning, like a basic bitch at the beach.
And they just,
sun, like, the
as
whole
they
day.
get to the edge of the sunlight, they roll over.
Yes, exactly.
That's basically what happened. But yeah, So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's
You know
go
what you're
Last
looking
of
forward
Us.
to, Forrest, is
I-
the Bad Batch, episode 5.
If y'all really want to talk about it, then go for
Yo,
it. But I
do
think
we
me and
really
Ted-
want to talk about this? Absolutely. Written by Dave Filoni.
Out of all the
and
episodes, I
Jennifer
thought this
Corbett.
one might be my favorite one.
Oh, I missed the Dave Filoni episode. Dang.
No, they're all
Oh.
Dave Filoni, bro. They're all written by Dave
I don't-
Filoni. Wink, wink.
Oh.
No, they're all. It's 99% Jennifer Corbett for sure. And then Dave Filoni, it just has his name on it because no one's gonna watch it if it doesn't say Dave Filoni.
I wonder if she's related to Bill Corbett from Mystery Science Theater 3000. My mind would be blown. But yeah, so Bad Batch, what happened? I guess did they follow Hunter? Did they follow Hunter and Echo this episode?
No,
Like I predicted? Oh.
nope. We are back to another episode, another fetch quest. I have here in my notes. There's a quest. There's some sass. There's a hidden door. Maybe Robbie can fill something. Robbie can fill something in between.
Yeah, I had a little more on mine.
It's another episode of Bad Batch.
Well, they
Yeah.
Fetch this object
go
from
from
this
the
part of the
beginning, you
galaxy.
Wrecker and Omega in the junkyard looking for a compressor.
If it had the Yuuzhan
And, like-
Vong, then I'll watch it right now. But I'm guessing not.
Omega says, "Check it out." Oh, it
Oh.
looks like a rattler in a little plate. But later in the episode, you find out that little plate is actually a compass.
Ooh.
What did it
It's a
progress the
MacGuffin.
story, or was it like a standalone episode?
It's kind of its own episode. I don't know if that.
Who
thing
knows
will-
what this TV show is doing, right? But like, so it's
It
standalone
could
in the
have
fact-
something later,
Yeah,
Do you think
it
there-
probably has like repercussions, but
or a little
I guarantee
throwback
you-
to it, or something.
there's a new page on Wikipedia, right? And that's about the legend of Scaranal, a tale older than the Jedi,
Oh
a
yeah.
puzzle
Do you-
that they solved in 5 seconds.
Yeah. So do you think Bad Batch will warrant a third season next year, or do you think
For
the
sure.
show is
Oh, yeah.
warranted?
No, no,
Okay.
this is-
Because if D. Bradley
this is going forever. This is going until they get to Palpatine being a clone.
because
Because
if D. Bradley Baker's looking for work, there's a show called Rick and Morty that needs actors.
ouch.
Oh yeah, Tib, you weren't here for that. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, D. Bradley Baker probably do both. I mean, voice actors they literally have like 5 jobs a week. They like just go different cartoon. They do like
Well,
5
say-
cartoons in a week, and
That guy was hung by the media. No.
I'm not familiar with
Justin
the story.
Roiland?
Do you have any? Oh,
Talk
Justin
about-
Roiland or the voice
Alec
actor?
Baldwin.
Ugh, Alec.
You actually sound like Alec
Hey.
Baldwin. Like, I'm Alec.
Wait, did you guys talk about?
Well,
You guys talked about Alec Baldwin?
No, we didn't, and none of us
We
have the
talked about-
legal expertise to know what the fuck's going on.
We talked about Justin Roiland and how he's
Yeah. Because we had the legal expertise for that.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, this guy.
well, apparently he was accused of false imprisonment, and that just sounds like kidnapping to me.
So we were talking
but
about
apparently
that, right?
it's a separate crime.
Yeah, so
But that's-
there's domestic abuse and false imprisonment, right? And so, like, in a lot of states, and I don't care enough to fucking look at what state he was in, right? So, like, don't fucking listen to this for fucking.
I
like,
imagine
information,
California.
right?
Yeah.
I would imagine so too, right? But usually, like in the states, like when a domestic violence or domestic abuse like call gets made to the cops, it has to end in an arrest. whether or not there's an actual domestic dispute or not, right? Like if you're in an apartment and you're just having a very passionate, angry, yelling conversation with your significant other, right? Like something that happens in life, but your paper thin ass walls like let your neighbors hear it, and they're like, oh, like, you know, I've got fucking massive amounts of anxiety because I've been in COVID for lockdown for 2 years, and then the world's scary after that. So like, I'm gonna go ahead and call the cops because I hear this couple of yelling next door, right? Like the cops being called, they have to fucking take someone to jail, right?
That's basically exactly what they did on Family Guy with Horton. Here's domestic violence. He's like, there's two sides to the story, probably. He doesn't call, so maybe Horton understood that they were just letting off steam. They weren't really fighting each other because there's two sides to the story. I don't know. Like I want to pray. I want to hope. I do pray, right? I hope this isn't true. I hope that this is just like a big misunderstanding or some bullshit lies, and like that Justin never put his hand on someone, because like obviously I wouldn't fucking hope that Justin hit his fucking like girlfriend or whatever. Like that's of course not, right? I hope like this is just not true. That would suck. Well, I think basically the court of public opinion has already hung him, and but we'll see how the trial goes.
Let's see, because Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, the court of public appeal is in session, right?
Well, everyone was pro Johnny Depp in that, though.
No, everyone was anti Johnny Depp beforehand. Everyone thought Johnny Depp was like the piece of shit before the court. At least on my Twitter feed, everyone was anti Johnny. And then
I think it was pretty pro Johnny.
There was a lot of people streaming that too.
I think we don't follow the same people on Twitter. If you follow, like, I don't know, the ladies from The View, then maybe they thought Johnny was guilty. But yeah, we'll see how the trial goes. And if you like pleads guilty,
should I be insulted by that? I feel like I should be insulted by that.
I haven't gone on Twitter.
You follow the ladies of The View. Like, I know you weren't being insulting, but like now I kind of want to use that as an insult.
But wouldn't they all be pro Amber Heard and anti Johnny Depp? Don't you think?
I don't know, dude. No, I know one thing about the View, and that's they fucking like the infighting, right? The only exposure to The View I have is like clips on like John Oliver or sexual like some other like comedian talking about like The View fucking like ripping themselves apart from the inside out. So I have no idea. Like Kelly Osbourne was on that show, and then someone else like super conservative. So like I don't know what the view is of The View.
You mean Sharon Osbourne or the daughter of Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because Sharon Osbourne apparently was like a real bitch to Iron Maiden at one concert, and they like pulled the plug on their amps. They pulled the plug on some of their amps like during their show or something like that because Ozzy was jealous of Iron Maiden or something like that. Anyway, that's way off topic, but Bad Batch. Like I said, we love this show.
Wait, it is Kelly Osbourne.
Okay, then I stand corrected. I'm sure Kelly's fine. I think she had a solo career, but
I mean, like, whatever, dude. Your dad's Ozzy Osbourne.
It's kind of funny. Like Kelly Clarkson's like the most successful person to come out of American Idol. I mean, I guess Carrie Underwood and Chris Doherty, but she like was the first major success.
Clay Aiken. What about my man Rodney? What's his name? Dude,
well, Clay Aiken at least was on Rolling Stone. I think the guy he lost to like only did like one music video and then he disappeared.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like the guy who beat Clay Aiken like went on to do like Ruben Studdard, right? Like,
yeah.
An album, and like it wasn't successful, and then Clay Aiken like fucking blew up his career or whatever. Like amazing. But like, isn't it kind of great? Like American Idol is on season 20, and you don't know anyone past like season 3, right? Like what? Well,
Carrie Underwood was season 4, I think, right?
19 seasons.
And Doherty didn't win, but I think he's like the most successful male. Because I remember
Carrie Underwood was season 4, but like Fantasia Barrino, season 3. Do you remember her? Taylor Hicks.
I do now.
What happened to Chris Allen in season 8? Do you guys remember Nick Ferradina? I probably could have picked an easier name. What about Caleb Johnson in season 13?
Major. That's not the point. They also okay. So these people might have had jobs and lives and things, and going on a big musical career was not really a great idea, right? That would have changed their life completely. Maybe they were just cut a check, and they're like, "Sweet,
Well, they're
I
giving a
won.
record. They're giving a record
Right?
deal, I think. And if the record doesn't sell, then yeah, they're pretty much like on the outs.
But
Exactly.
like the whole music industry is complete bullshit, right? Like you can go out on a Friday, Saturday night to your local like big city karaoke bar and find someone who will just like give you goosebumps, right? Like the singing's not the hard part, right? It's like the networking and like the collaborations and like getting into the industry itself. Also, correction, Jordan Sparks was on season 6, so I would say after season 6, no one knows anyone.
Who is Jordan
David
Sparks?
Cook is?
Who's
Jordan Sparks? I think she's the sister of Bubba Sparks. Bubba Sparks.
No
We
idea.
rocking everywhere. No, that's not.
That's Busta Rhymes, isn't it?
That's definitely not Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
It's,
I don't know. I've never heard of Bubba Sparks, but I've heard
This
of
new
Busta
booty
Rhymes.
is definitely Bubba Sparks. Okay, yeah. Bubba Sparks, SPARXXX. Oh, the 3 X's. That's probably why your mom's internet blocker probably wouldn't let Bubba Sparks come up on YouTube back in the day. When this came out in February 25th, 2009.
Remember when we first got high-speed internet and I first like just watched YouTube like crazy? I just watched a bunch of Alan Moore interviews. So I wasn't watching that anymore.
That's what you did the first time you got high-speed internet? I'll tell you right now. That's definitely not what I did the first time I
Just
had
watching Alan Moore talk about how great his Right Swamp Thing and him narrating Watchmen and stuff like that. So I just remember watching a bunch of Alan Moore videos.
Swamp is serpent monster god worshipping.
Yeah, that too. So
Hey, speaking of bullshit, can we get back to Bad Batch?
no, I want to talk about Alan Moore now.
No.
Let's
I
talk
want to
about,
talk about.
let's talk about Alan Less.
Let's talk about Alan Less and Bad Batch a little more. So Robbie brought up a great thing earlier where Omega finds this compass, right? So we have a female protagonist, and she holds up this random MacGuffin she finds, aka the compass.
It's just in a junkyard, wherever they are. I don't know.
Right.
Like
It's super random, and yet it somehow helps them find where they need to go next. And dude, I kid you not, like, dude, who fucking wrote this? The Rise of Skywalker? Like, this is just like beat for beat, like Disney ripoffs. I'm gonna bring this up.
Dude, a good chunk of the
over
episode,
again.
I was like, is she just making this up as she goes to make her happy, or this is the part of the episode I was wondering that.
Like, they find a random MacGuffin and like she holds it up and like that's like where they get the next. I was like, dude, like I've seen that kind of bullshit
because Tech
since The Rise
told
of
her that
Skywalker.
because Tech told her like, oh, that's not worth anything. Why'd you guys get these basically?
Oh, because it's a MacGuffin, Tech, you dumbass.
And then she's like, oh, what's her name? The pirate.
Wakanda Sykes.
Yeah, who was?
Is she related to Wanda Sykes?
She's Wanda Sykes, but she's
you're stupid.
she's a pirate, and she's so.
Or
so
she's
before,
not.
Before you guys think I'm racist,
Oh,
right?
Wanda Sykes is the voice of the pirate. I forgot.
Wanda Sykes is the voice of the pirate, and she's going into the heart of the mountain where she's looking for a purple fucking crystal, right? And there's a blue sky beam. So when I say Wakanda Sykes, I'm not being racist. I'm referring to the Marvel tropes that Star Wars Disney has stolen here.
Oh,
Well,
and
it
once the first
Nuance.
when you saw the actual heart of the mountain, the crystal,
Dude.
at the end, did it remind you of anything?
Yeah, dude. It's
Indiana
fucking,
Jones.
No, it's fucking Black Panther, right?
Oh,
No, what made me think of it was the Fifth Element. It looks like one of those stones from the Fifth Element.
No one here likes the movie, but yeah.
Except just blue instead of just a stone.
Was it blue? I thought it was blurple. I had a serious.
No, in the
purple
Fifth
coming out on
Element,
my
they were
side.
just like
and the
they
Fifth
look
Element
like
were blue.
stones.
Yeah.
But in
maybe
in Bad Batch, it's blue, the heart of the mountain.
Maybe it
I
was the
haven't
Sixth Element.
I've
And by the way, who directed
seen-
Fifth Element? The some French guy, but it was like there were way more than 5 elements. That's like that. So that's the reason I didn't like the movie from the get-go. It's like there's like 150 elements
It's
on
so
the periodic
good,
table.
though. It's so good. At least watch the honest trailer for the Fifth Element because that's fantastic.
I've seen the riff tracks of Fifth Element. That's the only time I've enjoyed it.
Ooh, the director is Luc Besson.
Yes, Luc Besson. I think he's like a French director. But speaking of French, speaking of French directors or just French in general,
He also directed the Big Blue or wrote the Big Blue.
what was that one sci-fi movie he did that wasn't Fifth Element? It was like
Lucy?
The Thousand Cities. No,
Lucy?
the other one.
Nikita?
No, it was like the one with Dane DeHaan and Cara Della. It's like something like Allurin. It's basically like a French comic book, and like French comics are actually, I've just discovered them this past year, and they're actually really good. I read one called Undertaker.
Oh,
It's a really good Western.
you should
comic.
read the French comic that the Matrix ripped off.
That's the Don't Tell Me. It's also based off what Blade Runner is based off of. Mobius. It's the something tomorrow, the long tomorrow. But yeah, basically like Cyberpunk is based off that one like 5-page comic. All of Cyberpunk's like Akira and Blade Runner and basically like obviously Fifth Element. So like basically like any Cyberpunk thing you've seen comes from that comic.
The
By
Canal
Mobius.
by Alejandro Jodorowsky.
No, that's the Meta Barons, I think you're thinking of,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's definitely another, I think, Bone Designated comic. Anyway, so Bad Batch.
Oh yeah,
I guess
Bad
it was
Batch.
good enough to keep y'all. This was the best
No,
episode
dude,
this
it
season.
was, dude. They're like, hey guys, we need to keep our Disney fans like engaged. How do we do that? And it's like, I don't know what worked for Marvel 10 years ago. They were like, a blue sky beam. So we got a blue sky beam. We got some vibranium, aka Heart of the Mountain.
I see. Well, I'm guessing maybe next week they'll meet the Thunder God of
No.
Alderaan.
Oh, and
Is Alderaan still alive? Well, I guess it's
So
Bad Batch.
there was
Alderaan
a
was
time
still
in this episode. I don't want to spoil it for the people. It's not a spoiler, right? But it's a feeling for the impassionate fans, right? So I guess if you're an impassionate fan, you're not listening to this unless you've already seen the episode, right? But there's a level of suspense, right? When they're traveling through these tunnels in the cave, right? And there's this doorway, and like a part of me was like, oh my god, dude, are they about to enter the world between worlds? Which is a big fucking deal for huge Star Wars nerds who are aware with the Rebels canon, right? Star Wars Rebels. So the world between worlds is like basically how you can time travel in Star Wars. So like, dude, I was like really edging. Like I got so excited, thinking like that's what it was gonna be, but it wasn't. They opened up the door, and we got the Heart of the Mountain, right? Which is just a single crystal, not a bunch of it, just one. That was weird, but like, I mean, you can't carry a bunch of crystals out.
well, it's not the hearts of the mountain. It's
All right, that's a good. Oh, that's a good point. It's just the heart, the very single heart. That's a good. That's a good fucking point. But they take the Heart of the Mountain out, right? If I remember correctly, that
You
activates
find out what the mountain is.
the mountain's
It's a
head.
massive robot.
It's a fucking
It's like insane how huge that thing is.
dude, fucking magnificently huge. I would love to see that in like
That's what she said.
real action. Yeah,
Like that. I think that's what really made the episode for me. Was just that.
it was
giant
so
robot.
cool, dude. But they had a blue sky beam. What was that? What was that blue sky beam even for? It wasn't summoning anything. It wasn't killing anything. It was just, I don't know.
That was
I
when
thought
Bob-
I thought it was just like, here's the treasure. If you take it, I'm gonna keep destroying the world until you put the treasure back.
This came out
kind
when
of
Bob
thing.
Chapek was still CEO, or this was being made while Chapek was still CEO. It's like, so we need to condense the Marvel and Star Wars fans into one amoeba. And so let's get more blue sky beams in Star Wars.
I can see that.
Media.
Yeah, that's a good point, Robbie. You're right, because it does the big sky beam in the air, and then afterwards it's like starts like just destroying the ground. And I have my notes here. It's like there's 360.
I must have been like putting notes down when it shot
Just-
straight up, because I just remember shooting at the ground.
Dude, it is short, dude. It is a very short sky beam. It's like 3 seconds and you'll miss it for sure. That's exactly what happened. I'll send it to you afterwards. Because I remember like,
guess
oh, a
that's why
sky
I
beam.
wasn't sure what you were talking about when you first.
Yeah, because I was like,
said
oh, a
beam.
sky beam, and then it disappeared, and I was like, those cowards. Like, it's not like a permanent sky beam. It reminded me of moon night, moonfall, moon.
Yeah, Moonfall, the one with the moon explodes or whatever.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Oh,
And Moon Knight, where they like in the commercials for Moon Knight, like in the trailers, they had the pyramid with the blue sky beam, but in the actual episode, they took the sky beam out. And I was like, cowards, give me my blue fucking sky beam. Like, it's a trope and I want it. I want this trope so bad. I love a blue sky beam.
Yeah.
It's like fake tits. It's like fake tits in porn. It's like, yeah, I'm expecting it at this point, right? It's a pleasant surprise if I don't see it. But like, if there's nothing at all, then I'm kind of upset.
Yeah. Well, I think y'all convinced me to actually watch this thing.
Watch it,
so
dude.
I think I will. But yeah, Major, you want to go ahead and showcase our social media?
Showcase our social media. Can you say that 3 times fast? No, but you
Showcase
can
your
say it
social
3
media.
times
Showcase your
fast.
social media. Showcase your social media.
Oh, that's right, ladies.
Snoke case. It's all
Snoke
comes right
case.
to Star Wars. It all comes right to Star
It's
Wars.
all Snoke. Yeah, it's all connected. Guys, tweet at us at Ziza Podcast on Twitter. Let us know what you think about Bad Batch episode 5. Are you entombed in this plot, or are you
Like the rest of
trying
us.
to bury
Very.
or like the Last
Yeah.
of Us?
Oh, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, it was.
That's the best pun. It's like so.
Yeah,
So many possibilities to make a Last of Us jokes in this.
In the spirit of George Costanza, I'm gonna leave on that high note.
Leave on a high note.
Later,
All right.
guys.
Well, I'm forced. Major's gone.
Major. Yeah, that
I'm
too.
Robbie.
And I'm the Last of Us. Tip.
Thanks for fucking listening, guys. You're the best.
We'll see you next time. And go watch Bad Batch if you have time.
Just episode.